We want to use set notation to describe the shaded region in the Venn diagram below. So if we look at this shaded region, we can see that it's entirely contained within the set A, and it's all outside of the set B. So we'd say that this is A and not B. It's in A and it's not in B. Now for part B. We're told the number of elements in set A is 15. The number of elements not in A is 22. We want the number in the universal set. Now just consider the set A here. Things are either in A or they're not in A. So this is 15, this is 22, and therefore the universal set must just contain 15 plus 22 is equal to 37 elements. In part C, we want to determine the gradient of the line with equation negative 4x plus 8y is equal to negative 16. To read off the gradient, we want it in the form y equals mx plus c, and then m is the gradient. So starting with negative 4x add 8y is negative 16, if we move this across to the other side, or add 4x to both sides, then we get 8y is equal to 4x. Take away 16. Now divide right through by 8, and we get y is 4 divided by 8, which is a half. X take away 2, and then note that the m is the number multiplying the x. So we can see that the gradient is a half. We want to write this number using scientific notation. So we have 0.02083. Now, for scientific notation, we need one non-zero digit in front of the decimal point. So the decimal point needs to be here, and that means it's coming in 2 places. So that's going to be 2.083 times 10, and we need to decide on the power here. So it moved 2 decimal places. So we could either have 2 or negative 2. Which one should it be? The original number is a number less than 1. That tells us that this should have been negative 2. The information below shows the frequency of goals scored in each game during the 2011 and 2012 seasons. For which year was the mean number of goals per game greater? Well, if we look here, most of the data is down here, 0, 1 and 2. Where if we look here, we've got a lot of 5s. So I would say that this one is greater, 2012. Here there's not very much data at those larger numbers at all. Factorizing this expression, we should know the difference of 2 squares. If we have a squared minus b squared, you can always factorize that as a minus b and a plus b. So if we look at this, 9x squared is 3x all squared, and 25 is 5 squared. So what we have is 3x squared take away 5 squared. So if we follow this pattern, we end up with 3x minus 5 and 3x plus 5. We want to simplify 3 to the power 4 divided by 3 to the power negative 2. When we're dividing, the base stays the same and we subtract the indices. So that's 4 take away negative 2. Take away negative 2 would become a plus 2. So we have 3 to the power 6. We want to determine the value of the cosine of the angle ACB. ACB is this angle just here, going from A to C to B. So, car toa, we want cosine, so that's going to be adjacent divided by hypotenuse. Here I can see the adjacent next to the angle is 5 and the hypotenuse is 13. So the cosine of angle ACB is equal to 5/13.